to day 10 of the Fix Your Life Challenge. And today we are going to calibrate your genius. Now, a little bit about who I am. I am Monica Henderson, and I am the founder and creator of Mink Life University, Mink Life Motivation, and I am a genius activator. Now, I bet you're kind of curious about what a genius activator is, and I'm going to tell you how that came about. So, for those of you who may not know me very well, I was a child who suffered from social anxiety. Now, if you've never understood what social anxiety feels like or what it is, or it really boils down to being 100% in fear of talking to strangers, which makes no sense at all, considering that what I do for a living today is talk to strangers, whether it's on stage as a motivational comedian or doing challenges like this with all you strangers on the internet, or even having new networking meetings on a daily basis and kind of sharing my vision to the world with everyone in these meetings, right? I'm a producer of a live show, also talking to strangers. There are so many places in which my Monica in the wild behaviors make no sense at all. But the reason why all of those things are possible for me is because I have learned to tap into my genius. I have calibrated my genius to make it comfortable for me to do just that. So today we're going to talk about me a little bit and how I was able to do that. But what we're also going to do is we're going to talk about you and how you can actually activate your genius. Does that sound good? Are we all in? Awesome. First things first, I want you to understand that you have the birthright to live healthy, wealthy, and fulfilled. That is 100% of the time. No one has to give you that. No one has to empower you to feel that way. You already have it. It already exists inside of you, right? And because you have done this challenge, you have spent quite a bit of time actually learning how to activate that genius in you. And I know that seems weird because you're like, wait a minute, I thought you were going to teach us how to do that. But I am. Hold on. Slow your roll. Let me just tell you. How we're going to do that is understanding that you have 6 key roles that you live in on a daily basis. And you may have been told some lies about who you are that make living in those 6 key roles kind of suck. Yep, it's true. There are lies that we have been told that we have to kind of unearth for a second. The first thing that we need to understand is that your kryptonite is also your superpower. Your kryptonite is also your superpower. So the one thing that gets in your way is also the very thing that can make you the most powerful version of you can possibly be. Now, yes, I know I created a whole university and I manage people's emotions and businesses and their branding and all those things all over the world. And when you hear that, you may be thinking, wow, she's kind of an overachiever, right? Like she has to be a really organized person. She must be able to do things that other people can't do. I can't do that too. And the reality is that that is incorrect because who I am is probably the opposite of what you think I am. And truthfully, most people are probably only seeing the opposite side of you as well, because we're really good at showing the opposite side of us. So, who am I? I am lazy. I am a procrastinator. I am a recluse. And I just want to be left alone most of the time. But the difference between me living in that truth of who I am and owning that is that instead of me allowing those words, procrastinator, lazy, as bad words, I actually wear them as a badge of honor because those exact same traits allow me to do things that most people don't get to do. For instance, me being lazy allows me to be resourceful and efficient because I'm not going to spend any extra time doing anything I don't want to do. I'm lazy, so lazy. Now, what that looks like on the outside world, right? On the inside, the thing is someone asks me to do something and I say, okay, do I have to do this, right? So I ask myself, is this something that is really required for me to do? Or is this something that someone just would like for me to do? And once I decide whether or not it's something that I'm required to do or it's something that I actually want to do, then I proceed with an answer of whether or not I can do it. And if it's something that I want to do, then I say yes. If it's something that I'm required to do, then I ask why. Why am I required to do this? What is the intention behind this requirement? And then from there, I meet the basic requirement of that in my actions. What that looks like is you're asked to give a presentation to a client. I don't know about you, but I hate selling. I do not at all want to sit there and sell in a presentation to a client. Selling sucks. It's not my favorite thing to do. So, do I want to do this? The answer is no. Am I required to do it? Well, if I kind of want to eat, yes, your girl has got to have this sales presentation. So, the answer is yes. Well, what are the basic requirements for me to step into this meeting that would allow me to make a sale? The basic requirement is one, it has to be that that person actually wants or needs this product. Two, that they like me on some level to be able to say yes to me. So I can't be a jackass, right? And three, that they're given the tools and information so that they can actually follow through with the next steps. Before I even get up to get into the presentation or to create a presentation, the idea is let me make sure that those basic requirements are already taken care of. So when I have to show up to this thing I don't want to do and all of my social anxieties are going to be at play, that I can idiot proof my presentation with a client. So I will look for the link that I need in order to give them. Where do they need to go to pay for this? Check, got that. I will make sure that I'm in a good space. So I might put on a song and do a little dance and like, oh yeah, get it, put myself in a good mood so that when I show up, I can be in good energy. And three, I listen. Because if you're an introvert out there, you know what I'm talking about. People love to talk about themselves and they will always tell you what they need if you're willing to listen, right? And so I bring my listening ears. And 9 times out of 10, if it's a product that they need, by just doing the basic steps of providing them the link that they need to get to and them actually liking me, I'm able to actually close the sale. Basic requirements. Now, that's a lazy man's way of selling. I get it. But anytime you're going to do something hard, right, you got to make it easier for yourself. You got to slow down the thought process of, oh my gosh, I have so many things to do and it has to be this and it has to be that. Were there other things that I could have done? Yes, I could have created an entire PowerPoint presentation to sell that person this product. I could have also collated and sent several emails to this person ahead of time of like, this is what we're going to talk about. Here's the agenda and all the other stuff. But I am lazy. That's too much work. And anytime I think too much work, I think I don't want to do it. And what comes next after I don't want to do something, then I start to procrastinate, which is also one of my superpowers, right? So then I'll wait to the last minute, and then I give myself no choice but to do the bare basics, which is why I'm saying sometimes your superpowers can be your kryptonite. So let's take my superpower of being lazy and review what that would look like on the other side if I weren't activating my genius with it. On the opposite side of that, activating my genius in it, not activating my genius in it. If I'm lazy, I'll just lean into the lazy. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't think I'm going to do this. It's too hard. And I just won't do anything. I might think about it for a while. I might torture myself for a while, but ultimately, I'm not going to do it. So, the moral of the story is when you are tapping into your genius about your kryptonite or your superpower, you have to really identify that, like, what is, when things go right with that superpower, what could it look like, right? When things go right, when I'm lazy, I actually get more efficient. I actually think through the process before I take any steps. So I'm not doing multiple steps over and over again or having to change things too much. When things go right, when I'm in my superpower that can be mistaken as kryptonite, I actually think through the entire process and make sure I have everything I need to be successful before I even take a step to do it. And that allows me to have a better existence. When things go wrong in that, I get all in my head. I start thinking about what outcomes could happen if I don't hurry up and do this. I might even start getting a little self-abusive with my self-talk, right? Saying like, "Oh, you're so lazy. You just need to get up off the couch and do something." I might have a full dialogue with myself about how I'm not good enough to do it in the first place. And all of that analysis will create paralysis and make me not do anything at all. And I may not show up for that event, or I may cancel it because I don't feel good, or let the anxiety get the best of me. What happens when you calibrate your genius, it's not about knowing everything about everything else. It really comes down to really understanding who you are. And when we started this entire journey of this 10 days, it was about you and how you needed to show up for yourself. What goals were you going to create? What ways were you going to align your lifestyle and your self care and your mindset and your even how you eat with your pantry? In this challenge, we were even looking at how you could look at money differently or how you feel about money differently. We looked at how maybe your social life could support you or change things for you. Also, we looked at maybe how you nurture people, places, and things you love in order to be in support of your life. But ultimately, when it comes down to any of this, you have to understand what you want. So, my question to you today is, what do you want for your life? Remember when I was the substitute a couple of days ago? We talked about a just statement. And it really boils down to that just statement in every aspect of your life. In order to calibrate your genius, you need to understand exactly what you want in all 6 key roles of your life. You need to understand who you are as your own individual person with nobody else in mind, just who you are and what you want for yourself. I just want to feel comfortable in my skin, or I just want to be able to walk around confident and vibrant. Whatever your just statement is, I want you to write that down. So take a second, take a deep breath in, go, I just want, and continue to write the finished statement of that. I just want for myself. And when you think about your romantic partnership and how you engage with someone who's in support of you, your self-esteem, how you're able to connect to that other creative being on the other side. What do you want there? So you're going to take a deep breath in and exhale. I just want, what do you want? And finish that statement for your romantic partnership. And when you are thinking about what you want for your lifestyle, inhale, exhale. I just want for your lifestyle. And when we think about that role we live in for our nurturing, right? Whether it's plants or animals, people, places, and things that we love. You can take a deep breath in and exhale. I just want what for your lifestyle? Very good. Next, well, actually, that was nurturing. Next, we're going to think about the talent, passion, and training. Remember, we had a whole conversation about your career and where you want to take your talent, your passion, and training to the next level. What is it that you want? I just want what? Very good. Deep breath in and out. What do you want for your tribe? Those people that you surround yourself with to help you tap into your greatness. What do you want? I just want for my tribe. And when you take all 6 of those statements, what you want for yourself, for your romantic partnership, for your lifestyle, for your career, for your nurturing, for your romantic partner, for your tribe, and you put all of those together, now you have a game plan. And when you take this concept of who you are and understanding your truth, living in and tapping into your truth, that maybe you're like me, maybe you're a lazy procrastinator who's a little bit selfish and really just wants to be left alone, but loves to eat and loves to actually help people and loves to be able to do something profound with their time and energy. And you apply those things together, who you really are, the truth about you, and what you're trying to get. You then have the starter kit on how you're going to be able to make that happen. Because a clear vision is where you have to start with any genius. And once you have a clear vision of that, the next step is to ask yourself, okay, now that I understand who I am and I understand the vision that I have for my life and what I want for me, what is the very first steps that I need to take to get closer to that? Now, if you've done this challenge from day one, you have a lot of these steps already taken, or you've at least kind of started putting them into practice. So what the question is what do I have to do in order to make each of these just statements true? And you enact that in your life right now. And once you enact it in your life, before you enact it in your life, actually, you're going to pull a genius moment. What do you have to do? What's going to get in your way for all of this to not come true? And what are you going to do to overcome those things before they're even excuses? And if you can do that, you can activate an action plan and activate your genius. I'm Monica Henderson, your genius activator. Sign up for the challenges if you haven't already so that you can get all of your freebies and you can spend 2 weeks working with me for free. We'll talk to you later.